Hey, good morning, my friends. MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa here with the MLive Morning Weather Update. Lots to get to. We will get through this. A powerful storm system heading our way with a lot of various types of weather. So hang with me and hang with MLive here the next couple of days. To start, I'm going to try to give you the easy details on kind of what could be a complex storm. And the details are tonight, a period of snow to sleet and freezing rain for about the northern 2/3 of the state. I'll show you southern third, maybe just a brief period of snow, middle of the night tonight. Then tomorrow evening is when we could have a severe weather outbreak. This is what we call a conditional severe weather outbreak. Now, we're kind of coming off of what I call storm shock from the devastating severe weather over the weekend. Looks like 4 dead in our state in that. And that system had I'm trying to get the term, I don't want to use the word perfect, had the perfect setup. Sounds like I like it. Meteorologists, trust me, we do not like severe weather either because our houses and our families get hit also. But the weekend severe weather had the perfect setup of sunshine that broke out in the late afternoon. Tomorrow's severe weather outbreak may be preceded by a big cloudy period. That helps a lot of areas, and it's coming in a little bit later in the evening hours to midnight. That helps too, but the engine of tomorrow's storm is stronger than the engine of the weekend storm. So let's get on into it, show you what I'm talking about, and I guess the main thing is today, it's okay. Here's the radar forecast. And I got the chat going on the YouTube. So if you got any questions or comments, go to it. So this is today. Today is dry. This is tonight, middle of the night. This is 2 a.m. So what you see is some rain developing, and as the rain gets heavier, it drags the colder air down and it turns to snow. This is 4 in the morning. So Detroit area, Ann Arbor, Flint, Saginaw, Grand Rapids, Lansing, all could be in the start of the snow in the middle of the night. This is 5 in the morning, 6, 7 in the morning. So look at that. The morning commute could have sleet. That salmon color is sleet. And that would be, in the thumb in Flint and Saginaw, snow through to Cadillac, to Big Rapids. Grand Rapids may be transitioning over to rain by morning, and also in the southeast, Detroit, Ann Arbor, if you can leave very early in the morning, or, later in the morning, leave later in the morning, because you'll have warmer temperatures and no problems. But the snow and the sleet shifting into northern Michigan. Now, here's where we, may quote-unquote luck out. Casey Anderson, any storm concerns for Indianapolis tomorrow? Yes, big concerns. I will get to that here in just a moment, Casey, so hang with us. I'll let you know here. It's a bigger storm system. So this is midday tomorrow, a first round of thunderstorms coming through. And in my experience, 36 years, very hard for the atmosphere to recover in the evening hours if you have storms around in the middle part of the day. Now, having said that, the storm is strong enough that the midday storms could be severe. Not likely, because the engine that causes the severe weather comes in, let's call it from about, this is 4 o'clock. So I'm going to call it, I'm going to say it's 4 or 5 o'clock, which again is a classic time for severe weather, but really it's going to be 6 to midnight, and it could be cloudy ahead of that. So this is 6 tomorrow evening. So there you can see a severe squall line, maybe stretching from the thumb through Saginaw, Flint, down to the southwest to Grand Rapids and Kalamazoo, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So we're talking in that 5 to 10 time period, again the same, and again a favorable time for severe weather if it had turned sunny and hot, but you don't need sunshine and hot weather when the dynamics, the energy, the engine of the storm is strong. So, total snowfall. Yeah, it's not over. And wait, it's not over even after this one. Looks like, I'm going to call it a brief 1 inch for Flint and the Thumb and Saginaw and Grand Rapids. Nothing for Ann Arbor and Detroit. And then I would call it a 2 to 4 inch snow in the northern half of lower Michigan. I know you see some 5s and 6 inches there. It's possible. So we'll just keep an eye on that. Okay, so there you got the snowfall. After the snow comes an hour or two of sleet or freezing rain, and this is a forecast of either one of those. And it's not an ice storm, but of course we've just had a devastating ice storm in, from about Gaylord or so northward up through the UP. This will add insult to injury. 1/10 of an inch of ice. And where you see Saginaw and Bay City and the Thumb, that's, a brief 1 hour period before temperatures go above freezing. Now we go to the severe weather. So Casey Anderson, here's, I'll try to find some info for you too. But this is what we got. So this is tomorrow afternoon and evening on the, let's see, let me get this so you can see it. There, that map, the tornado chances. 5% chance of a tornado up to Saginaw, up to Mount Pleasant, up to Big Rapids, and southward through the state. No black hatched area, meaning strong tornadoes. Now we shift over to probably the bigger concern, and that is on the left, the severe wind outlook. 15 to 30% chance in the yellow, 30% chance and to 45% chance in the red, and the black hatched area means the possibility of wind gusts over 75 miles an hour. Again, I want to emphasize very strongly, conditional. If it heats up where you get into the warm air, and that's going to be the whole deal with this storm system. How far north does the warm air get? In my estimation, the warm air gets as far north as maybe Flint and Grand Rapids. I would use that line southward as the greatest chance of significant severe weather, and I would actually use I-94 southward as really the highest chance of significant severe weather. So we will see updates to this, but just know that it's there and know what time frame. Okay. So that's your basic rundown of this next storm system. Let's look out into the future, and I have to go to the European's ensemble mode because the European is showing some real funky cold weather toward the end of it, and it does that. But does the ensemble of 51 tweaks show that same thing? And it kind of does. So here we go. So we have our storm tomorrow. And note, when you see all of these black lines wound into a circle, that's a powerful spinning storm system. It moves out of these. Thursday is dry. Another storm coming out of the southern plains may just give us a little glancing blow on the early part of the weekend. And then we transition into a northerly flow, okay? And we turn, I guess I'd call it colder by the time we get to April 10th and 11th. And this model in its 51 tweaks averaged together shows that in mid-April, we could be in a northerly flow and have a day or two of some snow showers around. Never quite turns out this cold, I do believe, but it's possible. Oh, and I do want to go back for Casey. Casey, okay. give me just a second. I'll show you Indianapolis. Let me find it for you. Oh, bear with me here a second. Yes, here we go. Okay, so there you go on tomorrow's situation. So yes, Indianapolis is in the 10 to 14% chance of a tornado, and it's the black hatched, which means strong EF2 or stronger tornadoes possible. All right, so temperatures, today's actually pretty chilly. Compared to what we'd like to be at this time of the year. In the 40s and in the 30s north, at least you make it above freezing and the ice will melt off up north, and that's a good thing. Hey, Dustin Connor, that's a great thought. Ready for some good baseball weather for Little League? Yes, I love it. So this is tomorrow. 60s, south half, 40s and 50s, and you can see why the severe weather line is drawn up to around the Saginaw area. Thursday, a little bit cooler, not bad, 50s, and Friday in the 50s, and Saturday in the 50s. We don't really feel the colder air until we get into next week. Monday, remember, this model can be too cold. It's pitfall when we get 7-8 days out. Hey, Casey Anderson, you are welcome. Could be a significant situation, so make sure your phone is charged while you're driving. Make sure you know where you're at. Fortunately, the phones now will set off that tone like the Amber Alert. You can't miss it when your phone is in a tornado warning area. So be careful to the south. And again, the earlier you can go tomorrow, the better off. Now we get into Tuesday, April 8th and April 9th. Still going to be an up and down pattern. You'll still have plenty of warm days, but like I said, this model wants to say that as we get out there to mid-April, we're going to have a cold pattern. And the Climate Prediction Center also is now taking us at 6 to 10 days and 8 to 14 days down into much colder conditions. Probably a 2 to 5 day period where temperatures will be below normal, maybe 1 or 2 of those days uncomfortably below normal, kind of like March revisited instead of mid-April. Happens very often in Michigan. But for now, good day today. The good news is, the northern Michigan ice storm was not an ice storm in January where it could be weeks before it melts off. The ice should melt off today as it warms up, and certainly tomorrow. And then we go into the weather mayhem, I guess we could call it, tonight, and then again tomorrow afternoon and evening. Of course, no changes for me. I'll be right here keeping you updated. Download the MLive app. If you just found us on YouTube, download the MLive app because we're sending out notifications through the app of when we're covering severe weather live, and that would be a good way for you to see this. So, hey, thanks for joining me. We do appreciate you trusting MLive.com, and I appreciate you trusting me for your weather situation. 99% of the time, fortunately, it's A-OK here in Michigan, and 1% of the time, it's weather mayhem, and we're going into that 1% of the time once again. So I'm MLive Chief Meteorologist Mark Torregrossa. You have yourselves a great day, and you're going to see, unfortunately, a lot of me in the next couple of days. Take care.